And good evening, everybody out there that might be watching this here show on the UberTuber. This is your friendly neighborhood old soldier coming at you from Robeson County, North Carolina. Yep, folks, I know. I've been off the net for a while and had my reasons. I guess about 4 weeks ago, I started feeling like pure old utter tea, wore out, plumb frazzled, whatever you want to call it, and just decided I needed to take a break, recharge, recoup, and come back at it with my batteries recharged and just afresh. So here we be tonight. First broadcast in a month. I apologize. I didn't give anybody forewarned. Just everything going on, and it wasn't the coronavirus. So get that out there. It was not COVID, Corona, whatever you want to call it, the Wuhan flu. For those that I've already explained this before, I already suffer from a dead virus or a dormant one. Dead virus is what they told me. A dead virus. It's already in my blood system. Will never go away. 95% of everybody in the world contracts it, and it stays in their system. I'm one of the small minority groups of people that my body continues to attack it, even though it's dead, and it's because of that. My immune system is constantly fighting this thing. It wears me out. You feel like some days you got the flu, some days you just feel like you've been beat from head to toe. Other days you just don't have any motivation to do anything. And with the change of the weather patterns around here, I don't know about where everybody else is at, but here in eastern North Carolina, it was 1 week it was warm, and then it was followed by 2 weeks of actually abnormally cool weather, followed by some more warm weather, followed by more cool weather, and it's finally started warming up this week. So hopefully the warm weather will help out. Like I said, today was the first day I was actually able to get up, get out, and go walk a mile with old Rebel back there to get some semblance of exercise and get the feeling a little bit better. But anyway, folks, we're back at it, and hopefully folks will join in soon. We shall see who's out there here in a little bit, hopefully. Used to tell me, well, okay, I've got one viewer watching so far, but we'll wait a few more minutes, see who else might pipe in, and we'll go from there. But I hope everybody's still surviving this whole Corona COVID-19 virus. If you're living in states like California or Michigan, New York, Pennsylvania, trying to think of another one. Those are the ones that come to mind right now. Washington and Oregon, in other words, where the state's governors there, and even here in North Carolina, to a certain extent, our governor has lost his marbles with this COVID-19 reaction. So all I can say to you folks that are in those states that are under tyrannical control, just bear with it. Freedom will eventually win the day. I think I watched a video a couple weeks ago. A lady was leading a protest at a beach in California. There was 2 cops on scene, and she was yelling back at the crowd, kind of like, hey, there's only but 2 of them, there's all of us, you can't arrest us all. And next thing you know, everybody went into the water. They were compelled to let her go, and, thus freedom rang out for a day in California. I was watching one today, too, of a gym opening. What state was that one in? New Jersey. Yeah, New Jersey. And the cops showed up just to let them know, hey, you're in violation of the executive order from the state. I see everybody's here trying to stay safe. And he just said, I'm just got to inform you you're in violation of the executive order. Have a good evening. And he and his fellow policemen left and let the gym open. So we're starting to see some common sense policing. And then we've got some idiots out there that seem to think that the governors of their respective state is the absolute law of the land, and are following through with their governor's orders without questioning the legality of them. So, but anyway, folks, we are going into Armed Forces Week this week, which will culminate next Monday with Memorial Day. Normally here at up the road here at Fort Bragg, they have what's called All-American Week. I think it was suspended this year because of the virus. I really haven't kept up on it, but from all indications I'm getting, All-American Week was suspended. And that All-American Week is a celebration of the 82nd Airborne Division and its heritage. All the veterans that have served with the division come back, and they have a week-long schedule of festivities and activities, culminating at the end of the week with a division pass and review, and all kinds of dinners and cookouts and barbecues and sporting events. Like I said, the veterans get to interact and mingle with the young soldiers and vice versa, and it's a good time had by all. But I think that they did cancel it this year because of the virus. I'm not 100% sure, but it is what it is. So, well, without any further ado, we're going to read the first poem of the night. Hopefully we'll get some more people to join us here before long. Like I said, it might be because I've been off the air for a while. People might have forgot about me, and that's fine too. We shall be fine with that. But anyway, with it being Memorial Day, I want to read this one. It's just entitled Service to Nation. And it goes to read, it says, "You stood up and said, I will, when others said, let someone else. You went into harm's way when others ran away, when others ran the other way. You sacrificed family and friends and weekends and holidays when others went on as though you did not matter, and for granted you were taken to protect and defend our great nation, our great land. Know this, brave soldier, you are not forgotten, though you have departed, the ultimate sacrifice given. May the Lord of Lords, the one true Savior, welcome you in his arms, and peace be given you forever. For your time in hell it has been served, eternal rest you have earned, a place in paradise you deserve. God rest your soul in this hallowed ground. May you sleep in peace, you brave soldier." And I think I've got another one in here. I'm going to read if I can find it. If I can find it. Yeah, we'll read this one too. And the title of this one is Who Paid for My Freedom? This one I wrote a few years ago. And it goes to read, "Who paid for my freedom?" said the child to the father. "Well, my child, let us see. Police officers do every day, and firemen too. Me and your mother as well too. But let us go and see friends of mine you see, not far from here, in a place of peace. And here, my child, under these stones lay brave men and women who have given their souls. Given, you see, for you and for me, that freedom would be enjoyed by all to see. Here they lay in eternal rest under marble stones, here in final rest. They gave their lives that ours were spared, and scars they bared that no others could see. This they did, a sacrifice made, and all their tomorrows gone in a moment. Your tomorrow might be Well then, a little bit of technical difficulty there. Anyway. Anyway. So, like I said, hope everybody's doing all right. Like I said, I'm just getting my land legs back underneath me again. Trying to plug along, see what the future brings for each and every one of us. But talk about a few things. Got some new goodies while I've been recuperating and working from home. Just the other day, my son ordered me this Olight flashlight, the i5T EOS. It's a pretty cool little light. And the second time you're holding it, really brightens up. Thought that was cool of him. And I like it too because it's got this little clip on here. You can clip it to the bill of your hat. Now you've got yourself a hands-free light. If you're working, you don't want to wear your ball cap. When you're done, you just take it off, put it back in your pocket. So this is going to become my new everyday carry flashlight. I don't know if I've mentioned these guys to you before, but the Bud K and the CH Cadle, they're the same company. One kind of mostly advertises knives, the other one advertises knives and other kinds of gear. So ordered a bunch of stuff from them here recently too. If you haven't got yourself a good sharpening stone, they've got a little, and it's a little one, but it does, man, I'm telling you, it does a bang up job. I've been sharpening a lot of the blades in my house with the one I just ordered from it. It's a 1500 and 1000 grit Japanese water stone. I'm trying to find it in here somewhere so I can show you what it looks like. Man, I took out one of my CRKT knives today and went across that stone a few times. Man, you shaved the hair off of a porcupine with that thing. It's just about how sharp I got it, and just in cutting through paper. What's going on, Warsaw? Good to see you, brother. But it was cutting through paper like a hot knife through butter. I threatened to shave Mrs. Old Soldier's legs with it, but she wouldn't let me. I don't know why. She acts like I'd cut her with it or something. You know, just a little shaving her legs with it. That's all. I know she's in the living room watching this, so I'm probably going to get smacked when I come out of here. That's okay. When we first got married, she hit me in the head with a frying pan one time. Yeah, what I get for sneaking up behind her in her goosener when she's holding the frying pan. Anyway, well, I thought this catalog had that rock in there. But you can email these. You can go on their website and send off for their catalog. And they got a lot of cool stuff. And pretty reasonable price. And I've ordered from them before. And like I said, they carry a lot of good stuff. And like I said, again, a lot of it's reasonable. Now, you know, they've got their fair share of stuff it's on the cheap side, and it'll last a month or two, or maybe even a year at most. But some of their stuff is pretty good quality. And yeah, anyway, but get a couple of their catalogs. Like I said, they've got the Bud K, and then there's the CH Cadle, the Kadel. And like I said, they're a good company. They're out of Moultrie, Georgia. Pretty cool. Another thing I got me a new everyday bug out bag. Like I said, I say bug out, but it's gonna be my new take to work bag. And man, this thing's got more pockets in it you can shake a stick at. And so when I got it, I ordered a flashlight from LA Police Gear, because that's where I got this from, LA Police Gear. And this one, like I said, it's got all kinds of features. You can strobe it and all kinds of stuff. Luke Dog, what's going on, brother? Good to see you up here. So I got that, and then I ordered some of these magazine holders. And inside this thing, there's an insert that's got Velcro attachments. So I can Velcro that in. I can pull out and put it on the belt if I need to. let's see. But if you can see in here, there's all kinds of pockets in this thing. I've got my expandable baton in here. What else I got? This just to start with. I've got my emergency boot knife. I got my tire thumper. Hint, hint. In which, if you ask anybody here in the house, they'll tell you it's effective. I've tested it on some wood and other materials and scared the dogs and that kind of thing. But then you got two pockets out here on this side that you can carry additional magazines or ammunition or whatever the case. Over here, I've got a book, pens, markers, my electrician's knife that my son got me last year from SOG. I got that thing sharp enough it shaved the buzz hairs off of a buzzard. And on this side, you get two big voluminous pockets that you could probably put magazines in, that kind of thing. Then there's this pocket that rips wide open like that. And again, it's got another Velcro patch in here. So if you had additional things with Velcro attachment points, you could put in there. And then there's two pockets on the ends that you can put water bottles in. I mean, this thing's, and like I said, they got them on sale right now at LA Police Gear. I'll say that again. Check out LA Police Gear. And this is the jumbo bailout bag. I think I got it for $36. And, it's also got Velcro for your morale patches, So check them out. Like I said, I picked that up, and just when you're sitting at home and things are idle, and like I said, and for those that just that are just joining, the reason I'll explain again, the reason I haven't been up on the net here lately, about 4 weeks ago, I just started feeling bad. And no, it's not the COVID. Didn't have no cough, didn't have no fever. And I've explained in other videos, I've got a dead virus in my body. And my body's immune system likes to attack it often. And when the weather changes and other things happen, it'll flare up. And when it does, it zaps me. It just takes all my energy. And with trying to work from home and trying to figure that out, just things happen. So I finally just said, you know what? I just need to take some time off, recharge, regroup. So we're back tonight in full effect, and glad to be here, and glad we got some people popping in now. We got Luke Dog, we got Warsaw Patriot. I don't know who else is out there. Y'all are the only two that have sounded off in the comments section. But if you're out there watching, write something in the comments section. Let me know who's out there. Like to hear from you. But anyway, like I said, I want to do a little quick gear review with you because, like I said, I'm going to get back into doing those more often than not. Part of, I think, what was getting to me was just the only thing I could talk about was what's going on in the nation and the world today. It just got to be too depressing. And I haven't been watching really too much of the news because they're still spewing their BS and lying to people. And you know what? I've been watching a lot of war movies. Getting caught up on those. I think Monday I'm going to watch Band of Brothers. Be fitting for Memorial Day. I got to get my flagpole finished so I can do my Memorial Day poem that morning. If you've kept up with me on Instagram, you've seen the pictures of where I've been repouring and redoing my flagpole pad because it got knocked over in the last big storm we had here, and my pole snapped. And so I went ahead and cleaned that thing out, and I've got to do some more work on it this week, and then eventually get it back up and running. Yeah, it was on last night, Warsaw. I caught the end of it last night, or yesterday. With it, what was another one I watched the other day? pulled out my old Bridge Too Far with Sean Connery and watched it the other day. That was a good movie. It's one of my favorites, Bridge Too Far. And part of it is because my dad was a part of Operation Market Garden with the 508th Parachute Infantry with the 82nd. They jumped in near Nijmegen. And so to watch that movie, it was, at the time when it was made, it was one of the most realistic war movies of its time, especially the special effects. You didn't see a lot of fireballs and the explosions, you know. Yeah, I saw where G.I. Jane's come in. G.I. Jane's not my cup of tea. Warsaw, I'm not a big Demi Moore fan, no, either. So I did like her in A Few Good Men. She played a pretty good lawyer, trial lawyer. But as far as G.I. Jane, it just not my cup of tea. But you know, it is what it is. Gary, how are you, son? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing okay you're down in Florida, aren't you, Gary? Yeah, Top Gun's one of my favorites when I was a kid growing up. When it came out, best friend of mine by the name of Robbie Hudson and myself got in our ROTC uniforms when that movie come out one day and decided to go and hold traffic up and try to pick up girls, and it just didn't work out. But he and I must have watched that movie 100 times that year once it came out on video cassette. And we saw it like 10 or 15 times in theaters. But yeah, it's one of my all-time favorites too. But like I said, just want to get back up on the air tonight, get things going again. I'm gonna get back into doing my gear reviews, firearms reviews. Can't do firearms on live feeds, but I'll get back to doing recorded videos and posting those here in the near future. That's interesting, Warsaw. Never been too familiar with the Navy boot camp stuff. They're always updating uniforms for safety reasons too. I remember when BDUs come out. Prior to that, the Army, well, long story short, up until the early 70s, the Army wore 100% cotton uniforms as far as field uniforms went. Then they came out with what was called the permanent press fatigues, or the OG 507s. They were wash and wear. You pressed them once, all the creases were set. All you do is wash them and dry them, good to go. But because of the polyester content, they were prone to melting in fires. Well, BDUs came out, and the temperate the first generation of BDUs had polyester in them, did the same thing. So it's always an ongoing thing with that. It's always a trade-off. But, you know, one of those things. But we'll start getting into more gear reviews like that too, Warsaw. Talking about various uniforms and get back onto that. I got to start trying reorganizing my collection of stuff. But anyway. Well, that, and they're not really practical either, Warsaw. That was the other part of that. Now I know what you're talking about. That was the other thing too. They found out that sea camouflage was it was a, I hate to say it, it was the DoD fad with the digital. In 2000, the DoD basically issued a directive that allowed all the various branches to develop their own combat uniform. The Marine Corps was right up the gate with their MARPAT, and they had two patterns. They had a woodland, they had a summer. The Army, you know, there's a lot of controversy behind it. They adopted the ACU, but found out it was absolutely worthless, but there was so much money invested in it. It's one of those things, well, it's too much money to fail. Even though the pattern they're wearing now, what they call the OCP or Scorpion pattern, was one of those patterns that was in contention to replace the BDUs. Go figure. Well, not to be outdone, the Air Force decided to adopt the Army's pattern, but make it into a tiger stripe type uniform. They have now adopted the OCP that the Army wears. Um, the Navy came out with their blue digital, but they also came out with their own woodland digital. And then the Marine, so God love the Navy, but they've got more uniforms than you can shake a stick at. If I was ever in the Navy, I would be in trouble because I wouldn't know what uniform to wear on any given day based on the number of uniforms they have to wear. And then to top it all off, if I'm in the Navy and I get attached to an Army unit or an Air Force unit or a Marine unit, I'm supposed to wear their utility uniforms. It can get real confusing. But the other part of that study now I remember now is that blue camouflage they found was really ineffective on a boat. So who knows what they'll adopt for a working uniform back. Honestly, there's a lot of sailors I've talked to. They'd love to go back to the dungarees, blue jeans and chambray shirts, or the minimum back to basically it was a Dickies type work uniform with dark blue trousers and a light blue work shirt. Very practical for working on a ship. It's an industrial. Face it, a combat ship at sea is still an industrial environment. Those were industrial uniforms. But hey, that's what it is. But anyway, like I said, folks, I hope everybody's doing good. But we're gonna, like I said, I'm start getting back into my gear reviews, weapon reviews. Might try to get back out and try to do range videos again, but we're gonna slow it down a little bit on that too. But like I said, and trying to get back onto historical reviews, that kind of thing. And then keep Monday nights for poetry and other things. Like I said, we're coming in Memorial Day. We've also ended last week with law enforcement appreciation. God bless those men and women that are out there every day, especially those right now that are having to enforce controversial executive orders from various states' governors. If you don't know, there's one cop, I can't remember, but they posted this video on YouTube. He was let go. No, it was Washington State was where he was working. He'd been a former LAPD police officer, but I think he was working in Washington State. Long story short, he basically came out stating that, no government has a right to infringe on anybody's constitutional rights and would not enforce these unconstitutional measures that were being passed. And he actually chose not to do so, and they fired him. He was let go. He was let go from his job, and they have started a GoFundMe for him. I think last time I checked, they'd raised close to $200,000 for the guy. But so you got some police officers that are standing up doing the right thing in this trying time, which is good to see. Common sense law enforcement is what I call it. And I was talking earlier at the beginning of the video of a lady out in California was going to the beach, and there was a crowd that gathered around, and two police officers knew she was going to be there, and they were going to arrest her, and she kept shouting at the crowd, "They can't arrest all of us, there ain't but two of them." So everybody went and opened the beach, and they finally let the lady go because if they couldn't get them, they weren't going to arrest her. And so and then today, I think it was New Jersey, again, police officers showed up just to inform the people going to this gym that they were in violation of the executive order, but noticed they were all trying to take precautions and just basically told them, "Well, I'm just here to inform you in violation. Have a good evening," and took him and his cops and left, which I thought was very admirable. But there's other places, I think there's New York City. They arrested a lady in front of her children because of failure to wear a mask. And that's sad. And it's too many doctors saying wearing the mask is not going to do you any good. So I digress. But anyway, folks, I'll read this next one to you because this is the other thing. My insomnia has come back and paid a visit too. So I'm most days right now I'm running on 3 to 4 hours of sleep, in a sense. But I wrote this one the other night when it woke me up. All right, Gary, go eat, brother. Good hearing from you. But it goes to read, sleep, sleep. Oh, how I miss thee. Slumber and rest, where are thee? Replaced you are with insomnia, with aches and pains, no relief to be seen. And try as I may, and try as I might, no comfort I can find from this restless night. Oh, tomorrow you come, you will be the same, of toss and turn, of pain and strain. A night or two would be nice of nocturnal rest, of slumber delight. It is the pain, arthritis to blame, or is it the chronic fatigue, too tired to sleep? Complaining I'm not, just stating how I feel. Respite I hope will come. Just some sleep I want and it to be done. But anyway, folks, so there you have it. That's pretty much what's been going on. But figured tonight was time to get back in the saddle and get back at it again. And been at it for about 35 minutes, and we're gonna go ahead and close it out for the night. I don't want to overdo it, but I'm gonna read one of my favorites that I've read time and again, and it's just befitting because it is Memorial Day weekend, or Armed Forces Week going into Memorial Day, and this one is titled "Remember Me," and it goes to read, "Remember me now, as I was then. Remember me when I left, proud and full of life. Remember me in my innocence before life came in and skewed who I was. Remember me, the one who left to go and defend. Remember me before I fell, my blood spilt, that freedom did not die. Remember me, who is your son, your daughter, a husband, a wife, the mother of children, a father to little ones. Remember me, politicians, when you give your speeches to be reelected. Remember me and those like me that did not come home, and remember me and my brethren laying in Arlington's fields. Remember me, Mama, Daddy, your child who has died in our nation's defense. Remember me, mothers and fathers who said, not mine, who said, let some others. Remember me when you see my family cry. Remember me when your family gathers, that I'll not be with mine. And remember me at Christmas and Thanksgiving, and holiday gatherings in between. And remember me when you complain of job hours you're working or of taxes you pay. Remember me when you eat a hot meal in a warm, dry place. And remember me when exchange presents and gifts before you complain you did not get the one thing you wanted. And remember me who only wanted a warm blanket, a warm meal, a moment of respite. Remember me as I stand guard watching over you and yours. And remember me when you see your children, your grandchildren too, when they are born, that I saw mine born from afar, a picture and a letter of a beautiful baby, a boy, a girl. And remember me on Memorial Day and Veterans Day as well, on all days you value your freedom, that me and my comrades defend for you. Remember me, protesters that spit on me and burn our flag on hallowed ground, that me and my comrades died to defend. Your First Amendment right to do so without fear of retaliation, without fear of respite. Remember me, those who would boast that I died and defended, yet you have given little to keep our nation free and alive. Remember me, the 1% that has defended liberty, that has given our lives, that all should be free, that all should sleep in peace tonight. Remember me when a folded flag, triangle in shape, is presented to my next of kin. 3 volleys fired over my grave. The somber tune of taps is played. And remember me, the one who said, if not me, then who? Who will defend? And with that, my friends, I'm going to close it out for tonight. Try and get some rest tonight, I hope so. But stay tuned for tomorrow. I'm going to get a video out tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to talk about proper military honors at funerals. There's a lot of misnomers and misconceptions about what is the proper honors, and I want to cover that so people will understand. You too, Luke Dog. Good hearing from you, brother. And but wait for tomorrow's video, folks. And until then, God bless and take care. Soul Soldier out.